Dan Illman, Mike Beer. It's a Saturday afternoon at the spa with two graded stakes on tap, including the feature, the Grade 1 Coaching Club American Oaks. Let's take a look at the field. 3-year-old fillies going 1 1/8. Not only a Grade 1 worth $350,000, but an important Kentucky Oaks prep to boot. The number one tonalist shape in here, Mike, is 9-5 on the morning line. She has 6 lifetime wins. The rest of the field combined has 8 lifetime wins. And in some ways, she still has a lot to prove from a buyer speed figure standpoint. And an interesting fact that the blinkers are coming on off of a win.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I think she deserves to be the favorite just because, she has the credentials to win this race. She's the only graded stakes winner in the field. You're right that her figures are a little light, but she does own the 2 top buyer speed figures in the field as well. There are distance questions. There are questions about just how good she is. There are questions about what kind of price you're probably supposed to take on her. But I do think she's the horse to beat in here.
Yeah, I agree 100%. 6 for 7 lifetime, multiple graded stakes winner, advantageous inside post with good tactical speed. Let's throw up the Timeform US pace projector. Crystal Ball from Southern California is expected to make the lead. I can see that. I can see Velvet crushing up close as well. But if Arad Ortiz decides to get aggressive with tonalist shape, there is no reason why she can't be up close to the pace as well, sitting in a really nice position.
Yeah, I do think she'll get forward in this race. I didn't, necessarily think they were going to send her, but, she comes out of there running to the first turn. She could land a really nice trip sitting in behind this pace.
Now, both of Tonalist Shape's big buyer speed figures have come around a 1-turn mile. Her last 2 races won the Gulfstream Oaks, a race where she just didn't run well as the favorite, a race against Swiss Skydiver, and a race where she didn't get forward, where you kind of needed to be close to the pace. I'll draw a line through. Here's her last race. Rock solid performance in the Hollywood Wildcat. I guess the only knock over this wet track, the 78 buyer speed figure, but this was a no-sweat victory, and the 4th place horse came back to win a stakes race, the Game Face at Gulfstream, with an 82 buyer.
Yeah, I mean, she ran fine in here, I thought. Just better than these horses as well. Got a really good trip in here. And just kind of did what she had to do to win, Dan. It wasn't, that visually impressive. Obviously, it wasn't fast against the clock either. But she ran fine in there.
Antoinette, the number 2 for Bill Mott and John Velasquez, 6-1 on the morning line. She won an off-the-turf stakes race in New York last year at 2, and I thought her first start at 3 was okay. The Fairgrounds Oaks behind Bonnie South. I have to admit I've been disappointed in her last 2 races. In the Gardenia, it really looked like she was going to fire at the 3/8 pole. She came up flat in the stretch. And last time out in the Wonder again up close, a decent enough trip, and just didn't look comfortable in the lane. She's consistent. I think she can maybe get a piece of this, but a win might be just out of reach.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Dan. I mean, I was even more disappointed in her Wonder Again last time than I was in her prior races, if only because I kind of still prefer her as a turf horse. And she got a really good trip last time. It just wasn't nearly good enough to win that race. I thought it was disappointing, and I didn't really want to take her back in the spot.
Let's watch Antoinette's race. And the Gardu starts back. She's in the Godolphin blue. She turns into the stretch with a look at this. You're going to see her hop back to her left lead late. She does finish ahead of 2 next out winners. The 5th place horse coming back to win the Angels Flight at Santa Anita with an 85 buyer speed figure. Tactically inclined. It'll be interesting to see, however, how far she wants to go. The number 3 in here is Altoff, and she is another running filly by Medaglia d'Oro. Chad Brown put her on dirt last time out, stretched her out to the 1-turn mile, and she came with a very strong late run to win. There was some pace for her in here. Now she's got to go 2 turns for the first time. The way she won that race visually was very impressive. Now she's got to step it up from a buyer standpoint.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, coming here directly off of a maiden win is not going to be easy, but it just didn't come up that strong of a field for the coaching club. Her turf debut looked like a pure prep to me, Dan. I don't know if you agree with that or not, but I feel like they were giving her a race, and they switched her to dirt last time. She was really impressive in that spot. It's not easy, to stretch out around 2 turns for the first time up at Saratoga, but I'm not going to be surprised if she's super competitive in here. I just want to see what kind of price she is, Dan. These Chad Brown horses tend to get overbet, and I just wouldn't want a short price on her, but I think she's going to run well in here.
Velvet Crush handled 2 turns with no sweat last time out at Churchill Downs, stretching out off a 6.5 furlong race. She got up close to a solid pace that day, and she was able to grit it out in the lane. The runner-up came back to run second in the Indiana Oaks. The third-place finisher came back to run second in the Iowa Oaks. So she faced decent competition. She does have good tactical speed, as we saw on the Timeform US Pace Projector. This is a bit of a tough test from a class standpoint.
It is. She's the longest shot on the board, and I don't disagree with that. I feel like this is just a tough race for her. We'll see what happens. She did run pretty well last time, though. I just wonder if this isn't maybe just too big of a step up in class for her.
The number 5, Crystal Ball, was 3-1 in a 4-horse field, trained by Bob Baffert, by the way, in Southern California. And she just had a nice, easy trip in winning. Let's watch that race from Crystal Ball. She got to the lead. She went a solid pace, not spectacular. In a short field, she's not losing from here. She's under a drive. She earned a decent buyer, and if she gets loose on the lead here, Mike, she could be tough. She's taking a big step up off the maiden ranks.
Yeah, I mean, she is. Again, it's not as tough as it could have been for a Coaching Club American Oaks, but it's still a step up in class for her. I thought in her debut, Dan, and he did debut her around 2 turns as well, so it feels like Baffert really wanted distance for her. I just thought she was really green that day, and she looked like she needed that race, and I did think she improved last time. It wasn't a strong field. She got loose on the lead. All those things are true, but I think she's making the lead in this race, too, and I just wonder, I feel like she's going to get the mile and an eighth, and I feel like if she does and improves just a little bit, she could be pretty hard to run down in here.
The well-bred Paris Lights is the second Bill Mott trained runner in this race and the second choice on David Aragona's morning line at 2-1. And she is 2 for 2 around 2 turns and on fast going. Very easy win last time out against older allowance horses at Churchill, but also had a very easy trip. Got up close to the pace. They were not going very fast, and there just wasn't a lot of closing going on in there. I think that she can sit a mid-pack trip as she did 2 starts back, and I think there's some talent here. She paired up by her tops and might be ready for a forward move.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that stuff. I mean, it does seem like this is supposed to be a little harder for her, even if she gets the kind of trips that she's been getting in her last 2 races. It's supposed to be a little bit harder for her to take this race over around the second turn, but I won't be surprised if she can do it. She's very well bred. She wants to go long. She can get a good trip in this race. All positives.
And let's take a look at our picks for the Grade 1 Coaching Club American Oaks. I have tremendous respect for the one tonalist shape, as does Mike, but I think Paris Lights might have a little bit more upside at this point. I just like the way she's handled the 2 turns in both races for Mott. You think Crystal Ball can put these to sleep on the front end?
I'm hoping that they just put her on the lead, and then we'll see if she's good enough. I'll be honest, Dan, I wanted to put, I thought about putting Atlaff on top. I thought about putting Paris Lights on top. Thought about putting Tonalist Shape on top. I'm gonna take the Baffert horse, ship it in here, and hope that she makes the front and takes a little step forward.
5-1-6-3 for Mike, 6-5-1-2 for me. Only a field of 6. You can make a case for all of them. It's the Grade 1 Coaching Club American Oaks. It's a Saturday afternoon at the Spa with an approximate post time of 6:16 Eastern. Good luck.